What's up, everyone? Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to do a little something different. We're going to go over this big article, and it's going to be about predictions of 2022. And we are in 2022, so we kind of want to see how correct these chefs were with their predictions. Almost months and months ago, almost a year ago for this year. And this year now we are almost done. So before I keep on going, let's get into this article. The 25 biggest dining trends in 2022 according to chefs. So what do my fellow colleagues think this year is going to be? And this was actually predicted last year. So this is almost this is like 9, about to be 10 months ago. So very interesting. First one, restaurants will be open fewer days. Again, I don't need to get into this one too much. Most restaurants have been cutting days. It happened a lot during the pandemic. We actually stayed open most of the time. We actually ended up cutting days this summer because it was just, this summer in our location was very slow. And it was hurting to be open some days. And we saw so many other restaurants closing or kind of changing their schedule. We assumed that maybe we would be busy if we stayed, but people were just not going out. So it was just certain days that it don't matter how many restaurants were there. It was just not busy days for restaurants anymore. So that happened. I can tell you from my experience, it's happened. Restaurants that were open 7 days a week, now, they close 2 days a week, 1 day a week, 3 days a week. It all depends a lot in location too. So that's one thing. Menu prices will continue to rise. Yes, that was a problem. And we are actually trying to combat this right now. That's one of my challenges that I'm having right now. I think for my restaurant to continue to be operating, I have to do something with the menu again, because the prices are just going up. If you have a steady menu, you are fighting with these prices every week. You don't know what's going to be going up. Like, I have beef 1 week is holding a steady price, and next thing you have it 1 week and it's $2 more a pound. It's just, or it could be $3. It went up a pound more. And all that stuff adds up, and it hurts your bottom line, and it hurts sometimes your food costs just tremendously. And me not being able to combat these prices with alcohol, like most regular restaurants, like we are full service, except we don't have alcohol. So we are BYOB, which I think is a great asset for, people that go out dining, because if you like to have your drink, you could splurge and get exactly what you want to drink. Nice bottle of wine, which you buy it from the liquor store, it's going to cost you almost a quarter, like 33%. No, not even, like 70% cheaper. So you're getting it like a 33% cost from if you get it from usual restaurants. And I hate to say that to regular restaurants, but again, they also have to buy the stuff. They got to make a profit, and they have to store it. They also have to have staff to run the bar. So it's all these other costs that I don't have, but I try to pass it on to the customer. I think most customers don't see it that way, in a sense, so they just overlook that, and they just look at the pricing in the menu. Many places, again, they have the liquor to offset that. So I'm going to try to work something out. My menus, I think, is going to be changing. Again, menu prices. The next one, as menus continue to shrink. I agree, my menu shrunk, but it really didn't shrink that much. And I think I'm going to be starting to do that, hopefully, this week, very slightly. But the next week, I'm actually going to be planning on how I'm going to be doing this. How are we going to do this to stay alive? And it's just reinventing ourselves. So as menu continues to shrink with escalated, so I'm gonna do a menu that probably changes every single week. I'm just being honest, so I can really combat these costs as much as possible and be able to definitely have a smaller menu. But if it's changing so often, and again, I'll keep some weeks, maybe I'll keep something that was really, really good. I'm like, okay, this could go another week. But I should be able to, work with the prices a little bit better. That's what it comes down to. All right. Restaurants operators will diversify their business, of course. So you basically have to add revenue streams, right? More and more and more. that makes sense. You got to be able to add revenue streams that is not going to cost you. So that's what we are going to be working on. So we offered a lot of stuff, and some of the stuff, because we were offering so many stuff, we end up cutting a lot of stuff because you needed more stuff to offer the stuff. So you got to be able to offer stuff that is not going to cost you more, that is you can kind of mix in with what you are offering. So that's something that, again, we got to work on. I think we'll bring back some of the family meals for the winter. We'll see how that goes. But it's going to be really just family packages. That's what I'm thinking of doing. I'm not going to bring in stuff just for that anymore because that would just kill my food costs. So that's one way to look at it. In other ways, takeout specials, stuff like that. Other revenue streams that I'm going to try to work out. We started doing the takeout special. I think it's going to take a little bit of time to catch on. We start using the social media and all that stuff, so it takes a while, but I think we're going to continue. If we get the opportunity to work on it, I'll do it. Tips will be pulled, possible. That's a very specific one. Tips pulled, yeah, I guess it will help in some places. So yeah, a lot of the services have changed, so I see this definitely happening. Cancellation policies will be stricter. I said this before. I said this a while ago. Cancellation policies will be stricter. We implemented for the first time a cancellation policy. Cancellations are getting out of hand. Every single week we see cancellations every single day, and apparently we're not the only ones. Apparently, this is something that is like running rapid to the restaurants. As the chef says, we'll see a lot more. Stricter. Even we're sick of being at the mercy of the multiple reservation maker who no shows at 3 restaurants in a night. And after, and basically there is even during limited capacity that you have me, I'm always at limited capacity because I have a small restaurant. So now restaurants that were only able to have a small amount, you also get no shows. Ooh, it hurts. So I'm always limited capacity because we are a small restaurant. That's the style. We're a small bistro. So yeah, we sometimes get parties of 6, party of 7, party 8. Maybe somebody doesn't feel like going out and the whole party cancels. And it's just like, okay, that's like a quarter of my, not a quarter, but that's a good chunk of my restaurant. So yeah, I will revisit this. Hyper local foods will get even more hyper local. Yeah, I see that. It's yeah, you're gonna start getting stuff just from your area, and I think that's something that has started before this. So, nothing new. Very respectable thing. People, farm to table, local farms, local, even other, bakeries that you're working. Just local places getting your stuff for your restaurant. So yeah, I definitely see that. Not a problem. It makes perfect sense. There will be more chef collaborations. I believe a trend in upcoming. Yeah, this is something that I can see happening. I see this, especially with social media and all that stuff. I would love to have something like, working with another chef. It's always fun for the most part. But for the most part, yeah, it's always fun. I wouldn't mind doing that at all. So yeah, I can definitely see that right now. We'll use local food delivery services. Yes, I hope this starts sooner. Because the third party, nothing against them, they serve the purpose and they provide a service, but they've taken over. It's just hard to compete against them because it's an app on a phone and everybody's on their phone. So now this took over and they basically take restaurants' profit for takeout, and it's hard to kind of compete with this. But at the same time, it's one of those things that is not really giving restaurants a lot of, it's not really like a great revenue stream. So eventually it's going to change. It's got to change. High-end fine dining is back. Okay. I don't think it ever left. I think it probably got a little bit less with, and I think right now, if anything, high-end fine dining is not going to be accessible to as many people moving forward, because if we are heading into recession times and all this talk, people are starting to spend a little bit less money. Even so, I don't know. I don't think people were necessarily thinking about the recession when they did this. This is over almost a year ago. So, but again, high-end fine dining never left. I don't think. I just don't know if this is 100% correct. Like this, I don't think this is gonna be the main. It's not gonna be as busy as probably the casual. Food will be personal and unapologetic. Agree. So this is talking about people, chefs, using their culture and stuff like that, or their own technique, their fusion, cuisine style. What else? The inspirations that they've had. Basically, that's what I do in my restaurant for the most part. Most of the food is all stuff that I, been inspired by working with, either from my culture or working with other chefs, and just stuff that I've been passionate about that I wanted to do. And so this is definitely, this is right on point. Comfort food is sticking around. Comfort food never left. So yeah, I don't need to get into that one. Comfort food is sticking around. Comfort food is never gonna go. Like maybe it got stronger during the pandemic, because people were not able to go to the restaurants or the fine dining and all that stuff. So comfort food was definitely big, but it's always going to be there. So I don't need to spend too much time on that. Live fire cooking will get even hotter. So this is talking about cooking on live fire. I don't know. I have yet to really hear much about this. It might be, and I just don't know about it. I mean, this is something that, it happens, but I don't know if it's that big yet. I don't know if this year was the year, but I could be wrong. Alcohol-free cocktails will keep booming. Mocktails. I actually have heard of mocktail craze for a while. And this is something that I would love to experiment if I had, the time, or if I had, maybe I'm going to have to try this, because we are a BYOB. So mocktails is something that, I'm going to have to figure out the logistics to do this, but I think this is something I should try. All right. And so will fermented drinks. This is something that we haven't had really, it doesn't look like we've gotten much of a push for this. So we're not going to touch this yet. Again, most people bring their own drinks for the most part. So this, I'm not there yet. Outdoor private dining is here to stay. Yes. Sadly, this does not help me, but yes, this is definitely something that I, being in Philadelphia, I remember some of the articles that I would read, food related or restaurant related, were the top 10 outdoor, dining area, restaurants, or the outdoor this, outdoor that. The summer, if you didn't have outdoor dining, it was little. Yeah, you get a little hurt there, but let's just skip over that. I don't even want to talk about that. You eat your vegetables. This is something that has been going on for a while. With the increasing, with food trends, as not food trends, but just food habits of eating, much healthier food, less fried food, less, just more vegetables and nicer vegetables, farm, organic, all that. I definitely see this as something that, center plate, get nice new vegetable dish. Like we have nice vegetarian dishes in my restaurant, and you don't have to be a vegetarian to eat these dishes. Most people that eat these dishes are not vegetarian, and they really, they are popular. So that's a good. I see that. Preserving ingredients will have more starting rows. So fermented, I guess pickled and canning and all this stuff. Yeah. I don't know necessarily how much, but I can see this being used more. But this is something that I probably keep in the back burner. I don't know if I've heard much more about this. There's probably articles about their chefs that are doing this, that they're taking this as the main thing, but I'm not aware of that one yet. Seeds and nuts. Again, the same thing. Yeah, we've always used the seeds and nuts. I use them in salads and stuff like that. I don't know if this has started to be that big of a trend, but again, I'll keep this in the back burner. If I hear about this, I'll come back and I'll be like, all right, they were correct. Potato milk is coming. Yeah, I believe it is, but at the same time, I also believe that the big milk is if you want to call it, is fighting down on some of the other, nuts like almond and oatmeal and all the other types of vegetables or nuts that are trying to call themselves milk. I had a conversation with someone and they told me that, they were basically trying to ban them from being able to use like almond milk or oatmeal milk. So they got to come up with another name. I don't know if they are successful with that, but yeah, potato milk, it might be called something else. So let's just say that. More katsu for everybody. Japanese cooking or, Japanese dishes growing significantly. Yeah, Asian cooking is trust me, I like it. It's good. It's a lot of flavorful foods. I can definitely see this, getting more popular. But it's always been popular. But I guess more popular? Yeah, I can see that, yeah. Salad dressings will be better. Why not? Like, why not? Why is this gotta happen because of... I always make the salad dressings as best as I can. Salad dressings. It's a very specific one. Don't know why this one, but all right. We've been in a cycle of food that's seen a lot of nostalgic flavors, while vinaigrettes have their own moments, and will continue to do so. Classic umami hack salad dressings are making comeback. Greek goddess and Caesar dressings are two that are upping the ante with nostalgic flavors, but with umami punch. All right. Again, I get it. But at the same time, I thought that dressings were they should have been, this is something that shouldn't just started now, but in making a comeback, there were no, it's always been, maybe improving, I don't know. I am not 100% sure. Maybe this is a very specific restaurant that he's talking about, or I'm missing the point on that one, but nothing wrong with it, but I'm just missing it. Heritage ingredients will take the spotlight. Not a problem. Again, this goes back to the whole thing, like I said before, with the vegetables, all of this type of food, this clean type of cooking is making, it's definitely increasing. I like to do most of my cooking is clean, I believe. And again, working with a lot more of these, these staples like the grains, the beans, the legumes, plant-based craze is definitely there. Again, as long as you don't start talking about like Beyond Burger and all that stuff, or Impossible, because to me those tend to be less healthy than just eating a damn hamburger. But I mean, to each his own. Let's just say that. All right, local caviar is on the menu, and of course this would be depending where you are located, I guess. So that's for local. Yeah, I mean that's what definitely. We're cooking pantry to plate. And this right here is basically talking about during the pandemic, many people were just going into their pantry and started to experiment, scratch cooking, like doing their own bread. That was a big thing. People started making bread, picking up all these hobbies. They had time to experiment. And I think a lot of this, but I don't know necessarily how this is going to equate in a restaurant. This is more house. But hey, at the same time, I guess chefs were home that weren't able to cook, and I guess this is gonna transfer over to some of these restaurants, I would think. And I think that's it. So leave your comments. Let me know below what you agreed. I try to go over this as quickly as possible. There was some things I agreed, some things I didn't agree, some things I leave it in the back burner. But leave your comments below, and maybe you can tell me from some of your local restaurants if any of these things make any sense, or if they don't make any sense. It might be a regional thing. There's a lot of factors that one article may not have all the answers. All right, peace. Later.